Oh, tell me all about Anna Livia. I want to hear all about Anna Livia.
Well, you know Anna Livia.
Yes, of course, we all know Anna Livia. Tell me all. Tell me now.
You'll die when you hear. Well, you know, when the old Sheb went fut, and what did you know?
Yes, I know. Go on.
Quit washing, don't be dabbling. Tuck up your sleeves and loosen your top tapes. Don't bug me. Hike! When you bend. Or whatever it was. They threed to make out he thried in 2 feet park. He's an awful old reap. Look at the shirt of him.
Look at the dirt of him.
He has all my water black on me, and it's stepping and studying since this time last wick. How many goes, I wonder, I washed it? I know by heart the places he likes to sail, dirty devil, scorching my hand and starving my famine to make his private light and public.
Well, it will be your battle and clean it.
My wrists are rusty rubbing the maud stains, and the neepers of wheat and the gongers of sins in it.
What was it he did? A tale at all, on animals to die, and how long was he under lock neck?
It was put in the newses what he did, nieces and peers. The king fierce as Humphrey with Ulysses distilling exploits and all, but Tom's will till.
I know he will.
Tempt untamed will hist for no man, as you spring so shall you weep.
Oh, rowdy old rat.
Mincing marriage and making loof, Reeve Gooch was right and Reeve Dughead was sinistrous, and the cut of him.
And the strut of him.
How he used to hold his head high as the Howith, and the famous El Duke alien with a hump of grandeur on him like a walking weasel rat. And his dairy's old drawl and his corkscrew blather and his doubting stutter with his Galloway swank. Ask Lector Hackett or Lector Reed of Garraway Growley or the boy with the billy club.
How else there is he called at all? Quapel.
Huges caput early fowler.
Or where he was born, or how was he found? Gothwin, Tivistown, on the Coquette. New Hunshire Concord on the Merry Wake, who Blocksmith her sacked, Annville or yelled, let to her pale. Was her bands never loosened in Adam and Eve's, or were him and her but captain spliced?
For mine either duck-eyed drake, and by my wild gaze I gander. Slowly on mountain, the brink of time makes wishes and fears for a happy incidence. She can show on all her lines with love, license to play. If they don't remarry, the hook and I may.
Oh, passport. And that oxys mother?
Dom, and his wee folio.
Was his help insured in the stork and the pelican against the bugglers flew in third risk parties?
I heard he dug good tin with his doll, delvin' first and delvin' after, when he wrapped her home. Sabrina Asher and the parakeet cage, by the treacherous lands and devious delts, playing catched in myth with the gleam of her shada, if a flick had been there to pop up and pepper him. Past Aldman's mains and Mason's Alfu and the rest of all incurables and the last of immemorables, the quaggy wag for stumbling.
Who sold you that jack-o'-lantern's tail?
Hemmington's pasty pie, not a grass hoop to bring her, not an ant's grain of ore. In a gabbard he barked it with the boat of life, and the harborless Ivern-keen oaken, till he spied the loom of her landfall and loosed the 2 croakers from under his tilt. The grand Phoenician rover, and the smell of her kelp they made by the pigeon house.
Like fun they did, but where was himself the timoner?
That merchant man, he swooped with their scobies right over the wash, his camelier burnous and breezing upon him, till with his renegade bow press he rode and bored her bar, Pillicomeo.
Such coddlewoman.
And the whales away with grailing. Tune your pipes and falling a humming. You were born Egypt, and you're nothing short of one. Well, Ptolemy, soon and curb your Eskimo. When they saw him shoot swift up her sheep a shaith, like any gaylord Salmon, with her bulls they were running, surf with spree. Boyarka Bua, Boyana Bua, he's earned his L.E. Bunabath hard, our Staley bred the traitor.
He did.
Look at here, at the wet of his prow. Don't you know he was called a barn of the brine, washerwomen, the water baby.
Had Mario, so he was?
HCE has codfish E. Sure, she nearly had a batter him of herself.
Who? Anna Livia?
Hi, Anna Livia. Do you know she was called Backvents Sauls from around Nyomba New Chombachu to go in till him her earring chief and tickle the pontiff as you see?
She was?
Got a pot.
You sell that limact.
As El Negro winced when he went once to the plate.
Oh, tell me. All I want to hear. How lost she was lift lattery dextro.
A conwink of the bunting fell, letting on she didn't care, fine a fezzy. Me abbensti, him man in possession, the proxentine.
A broxetine? And what is that?
I mean for your Rosher, Hondu Jarkson.
Tell us, in Franqua lingua, and call a spade a spade. Did they never share you ember at skull? You envy to stand.
It's just the same as if I were to go to Par El Larksum now in conversaries because of the telekinesis and proxenate of you.
For cock's sake, is that what she is? Barlow, I thought she'd act Loa. Didn't you spot her in her woundwog? Wumbling on his oystery chair with a musk before her, all ceniform letters pretending to bribble and reedy, dirt on a fill she blungons without a band on.
I'm sure she can't fit in a D with a bow or a band.
Sure she can.
'Tis the suck.
Well, I never know now heard the act like that. Tell me, Mower. Tell me, Moas.
Well, old Humber was glum and grampus at the tears of his Thor and the boobles of her age, neither bowman nor shot abroad in bales of Brent on the crests of rookies and near a lamp in kitchen or church and giant holes in Grafton's causeway and Death Camp mushrooms, round fungulous grave with the great tribune's barrow, all Durnal's ocumal, sick ding sombra on the set Drawman and Droman, unusing queasy quizzers of his rueful consonants, his child linen scarf to encourage his obese squeeze, where he checked in their depths with that Mormon's Thames, by questioning and handle set, hop set and deepened, with his births of their toiling moil, his swallowers open from swath to fore, and the snipes of their gutter pecking his crocks, hunger striking all alone, and dooming and holding doomsday over Hunselv, drearing his weird with his dander up, and his fringe combed over his eyes, droaming on loft till the sight of the sterns. After Zwarth, coes and weedy brooks of the tits of Buddy and the loits of Pest and Tapir was parish worth mess. You'd think all was doo-doo belonging to him, how he dermed drunts in the dundrance of all. He'd been belching for 7 years, and there she was, Anna Livia. She dareth catch a winkle of sleep, purring around like a chit of a child, Wanda, a finger thick in the lamp summer skirt, Damazon cheeks for Ish Immer Bonzer to her dear dubber Dan, with nerve and seasoned soles of her from her hangies. In an old time she cooked him up blossoms of fish and laid to his heart's foot her meadry eyes, gaseous and stainish bacons on toast and quaven ham so swishy swashy with the Greenland's tay, or soup can of cough mocha on a stable sicking of sultpery with his ales of ferns and true pooter, and a shake of bread, ham and jabana, for to please that man hog stay to his sycamore till her peacrees shrunk to nutmeg graters, while her toggle joints shook with joy, and rash as she rushed with her peak load of vivers on her sieve. Meadowerus, rage it swales and breezes. My hearty heck he'd cast from them with a soar of scorn, as much to say, you saw. If he didn't peg the plateau on her toe, believe you me, she was safe enough. And then she asked to whistle a hymn, the heart bawd, down or the rakes of mallow, or Chelly Michael's La Comuna El Vercinelli, or a both bit old row romancian. Such o fuffing and fifing. 'Twould cut in you too, she baked the hen that crowed on the terrace of battle. What harm if she didn't know how to cockle her mouth, and not the mag I've hummed, that is no more the mangle rate.
Is that a faith?
That's the fact. Then writing the Ricca, the Royal Romancia, Ananana, Giborin, aristocrat, Niva, drosher of sense and art, with sparks pericletims, flunking her fan, and her frostvane, tresses dashed of virvellies, while prom beauties shrugged their barer skins in a period gown of changeable jade that would robe the wood of two cardinals' chairs and crush poor Cullen and smother McBee.
Oh, Blazer escaped.
They're poor as patches, and bring to him down the feed chute, with her femming fix kinds of fondling endings, the mother rambling off her nose. Buggy Barney, Vicar Manny, hello Ducky, please don't die. Do you know that you started cheeping after with a choicey voicey like the Watered Lux or Madame Della to the Rome chicks? You'll never guess.
Tell me.
Phoebe, dearest, tell me, and I loved you, more better you knew. And letting on Han Vardaft after the warbly sangs from over the Hellman. High Hellskirt saw ladies, hen smoker, lily hung, pigger, and soy and soon and firth and forth in a tone sonora and home bother below like Behy in his sandy cloak. Volsky is as deaf as a yawn the stolt.
Go away. Poor deaf old dearie. You're only teasing. Anna Liv?
As chalk as my judge, and she didn't step up in swords and go out to Duke and stand in her own duffel, puffing her ducky and then every skirt silly girl, or when some farm red walking in the pilly roads, saw a fundily dreary or merry, Wilkery, Ani, or Grary. She didn't use her semper sign to slip inside the Sully port.
You don't say. The Sully post?
Bedukes, but I do. Calling them in one by one to block them here to Schubenanzi, or legging a jig so on the silk to show them to shake their benders the dainty how to bring the mind the gladdest garments out of sight, all the way of a maid with a man making a sort of cackling noise like two and a penny half, or half a crown, and holding up a silver shiner.
Lordy, does she sew? Well, all those theons that I've ever heard. Throw all the little niece and the whores in the world at him.
To any captured wench she wish of no matter what sex of Pelly's ways, to Amada, Tomer, Lizzie Loy's, to hug and have Haven and Humpy's apron.